I have no reason to suppose that he, who would take away my liberty, would not, when he had me in his power, take away everything else. What worries you, masters you? All men by nature are equal, in that equal right that every man hath to his natural freedom, without being subjected to the will or authority of any other man. Being all equal and independent, no one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty, or possessions. The most precious of all possessions is power over ourselves. Who lies for you, will lie against you. Wherever law ends, tyranny begins. Don't let the things you don't have prevent you from using what you do have. Liberty is to be free from restraint and violence from others. Consciousness is the perception of what passes in man's own mind. With books, we stand on the shoulders of giants. Our incomes are like our shoes. If too small, they gall and pinch us. But if too large, they cause us to stumble and to trip. Success in fighting means not coming at your opponent the way he wants to fight you. There cannot be greater rudeness than to interrupt another in the current of his discourse. No man's knowledge here can go beyond his experience. The discipline of desire is the background of character. The greatest part cannot know, and therefore they must believe. Education begins the gentleman, but reading, good company, and reflection must finish him. The body of people may with respect resist intolerable tyranny. Reading furnishes the mind only with materials of knowledge. It is thinking that makes what we read ours. Justice and truth are the common ties of society. I have always thought the actions of men the best interpreters of their thoughts. Who are we to tell anyone what they can or can't do? It is one thing to show a man that he is in an error, and another to put him in possession of the truth. A sound mind in a sound body is a short, but full description of a happy state in this world. He that uses his words loosely and unsteadily will either not be minded or not understood. When we know our own strength, we shall the better know what to undertake with hopes of success. The only fence against the world is a thorough knowledge of it. Reason must be our last judge and guide in everything. To love truth for truth's sake is the principal part of human perfection in this world, and the seed plot of all other virtues. The reason why men enter into society is the preservation of their property. Logic is the anatomy of thought. Men's happiness or misery is most part of their own making. Where there is no desire, there will be no industry. Nothing is in the intellect that was not first in the senses. There is frequently more to be learned from the unexpected questions of a child than the discourses of men. New opinions are always suspected and usually opposed, without any other reason, but because they are not already common. Things of this world are in so constant a flux that nothing remains long in the same state. Fashion for the most part is nothing but the ostentation of riches. As usurpation is the exercise of power which another has a right to, so tyranny is the exercise of power beyond right, which nobody can have a right to. Every man has a property in his own person. This nobody has a right to but himself. Parents wonder why the streams are bitter, when they themselves have poisoned the fountain. Whoever uses force without right puts himself into a state of war with those against whom he uses it, and in that state all former ties are cancelled, all other rights cease. and everyone has a right to defend himself, and to resist the aggressor. Revolt is the right of the people.